Hello, friends and family. Welcome to day 34, cycle 2, day 12 of my quest to crush aggressive, diffuse, large B-cell lymphoma. Let's get into status. Eating hasn't been too much of a problem today. I did pretty well. The nausea is definitely managed by eating. I'd almost say it's not really bothering me at all as long as I don't go too long without eating. The mouth pain throat, teeth pain is a little bit better. I have been using the magic mouthwash for sleeping. Not so much during the day just because it's so foul tasting. But I'd say it's a little improved. My weight is holding steady. And my fluid intake was 80 ounces yesterday. My sleep was 7 hours and 1 minute. And then I did get a nap, about an hour. Didn't register. My mental health headspace, about the same. I'd say not happy, not sad, just kind of status quo. Didn't spend a lot of philosophical time today because I was at work. So I'm rolling with it. I'm very hopeful that in the next few days I'm gonna get back to the new normal. So I guess hopeful is still my characteristic. Symptoms are really the same. I think they're all easing up just a smidge every day. Still have some neuropathy on the tips of my fingers. My nails are breaking off like crazy. I haven't redone them. I probably need to do that if I want to keep nails. Hair. I think the hair is about the same as it has been. You guys will have to help me. Maybe I'll do a compilation of my thumbnails over the last month so we can see the progression of the hair. Not today, maybe another day. Brain, yes, chemo brain. My movement yesterday was 4720 plus 2 sun salutations plus some restorative poses for yoga. And my vitals were fine. I did speak to the doctor's office today. They did resubmit the PET scan to the new insurance, PET scan request to the new insurance, and we'll hear back no later than Thursday. Fingers crossed. The short-term disability paperwork that I had sent in last week was faxed back to my employer on Friday, and I sent mail to my employer to confirm that they received it, and they have, so now it's being processed by my employer again. I also sent an email follow-up to find out if the continuous infusion drugs were covered by any of those copays that I signed for earlier in the month, and the initial response was no, I don't think so, but they're following up to check. So they're checking on that now. Oh, and also the doctor's office called today and they want to change my telehealth on Friday to an in-person. So I said, okay. It's what the doctor kind of said it was up to me, but I think he would feel better to see me in person. So I'm going to go in. It's not that far from home. So that I think is all the status stuff. Let's see. What did I do today? My to-do list. I went to work. I baked bread. Okay, hang on. Moving aside. Here's a picture of the whole loaf. Here it is cut in half. Well, maybe give it a second. Here it is cut in half. Show the crumb. The crumb wasn't bad. I think my ratio, my flour to water was a little off. Okay, so this was just a white loaf. People were asking me questions in the comments and other places. So I did make the bread during pandemic. Fairly basic. Flour, little bit of yeast, teeny bit of yeast, not much, like a quarter teaspoon. Like if you got those packets, a packet would make like 7 loaves, right? But no, that's wrong. 9 loaves. Sorry, brain damage. 2 1/4 is in the packets. I had like a brick of it or whatever from prior times. But and then a little bit of salt, and sometimes I add a little bit of sugar, but not necessary, and then water. And that's the whole recipe. And then I think I mentioned yesterday that I enjoy it more. Oh, I forgot to bring the dough hook up. I'll bring it up tomorrow. Sorry, guys. No. I'll insert a picture right here of the dough hook. How's that? That does it. I'll do that for you. And then I let it rise overnight. Mix it. Put it into the parchment paper that's going to get baked in, let it rise again for 2 hours, and then bake it. And it's a no knead recipe, so all I'm doing is stirring with the dough hook, and once it's incorporated, then I just set it up to rise. And like I said, they said if you use warm water, you can only let it rise for 2 hours, stir it, rise for another 2 hours, and then bake it. That's like the quick method. But I find the taste is much better if we leave it to rise overnight. That's just my experience. And then I had a recipe over the summer that was a brown bread with oatmeal, kind of reminiscent of the brown bread at Cheesecake Factory. Probably even better, in my opinion. But I looked at my notebook and I don't see the recipe. So I can't remember off the top of my head. So I have to give it some thought, look in other places where I might have put the recipe, and then if not, try and recreate it. So maybe I'll work on that, but it's not high priority. In any case, I made this whole loaf, and 1/2 of the loaf is gone already. So somebody asked, how much do I make? So I only use about 3 cups of flour, 3 to 4 cups of flour, which makes that one loaf that I make in a Dutch oven, cast iron Dutch oven. And for me, I prefer it when it's fresh, and there's no preservatives. Obviously, those are the only ingredients I'm using. So in that case, and it's no knead. It really takes only a few minutes to whip up, like my work for it. So over the pandemic, I would make it every other day, every third day. Like once we ate through it, you were not going to keep that around too long. It's going to go bad. So if we got to the 3rd or the 4th day, if we didn't eat it, then I would wait another day to make more because we just weren't eating bread. And if we were eating it quickly, then I would make it more frequently. So there were some days when I was making it every other day, and then sometimes when it, once or twice a week. So it really depended on how much bread we were eating. But it is not gluten-free because I am using yeast to rise it. And I also I have almond flour here, but I stayed away from the almond flour because my niece has a nut allergy, so I didn't use that over the pandemic. I was sharing the bread with family and stuff too. But I could pursue those kinds of things. So in any case, I did make the bread last night. It wasn't too hard. The worst part was that I was almost out of the flour in the canister, and the big bag of flour it was too big for me to lift, and the boys had already gone to bed. So I just used the flour in the canister, and I needed a little extra, so I used some oat flour to fill in the gap. So that wasn't a big deal, and it tasted okay, but it wasn't my best showing, I'll say that. And I think my ratio of flour to water was a little bit off in retrospect because of the brain damage. I think I put in 12 ounces and I probably should have put in 14 or 16. And I think that I did that because when I changed the recipe for the brown bread, I added molasses and honey. And I was using, I forget, a few ounces there. And so I think I reduced the water. And in my brain, I was thinking 12, but it should have been 14 or 16 to the ratio of flour. But that's fine. It came out okay. Like I said, we ate half of a loaf already, so it's not like it was horrible. And the white bread, without any modification, is reminiscent of the Maggiano's bread, like the one the kind of crunchy outside that they give you, like the little loaves. You know what I'm talking about. But however, when we were in pandemic and we got, like, at first I was like, oh, I think it kind of tastes like this, and everybody agreed. And then during the pandemic, we ordered in from Maggiano's and we got the bread, and my whole family was like, your bread's better than this, Mom. So that was good news, right? All right, so back to what have I done today. Worked bread. Oh, I completed the large and the small rectangles for my poncho shawl, and I connected them. And I'm wearing it here a little bit. I don't know if you can kind of see the stitching up here on my shoulders. It's kind of still in progress. I've been working to add on this kind of lacy edging. I haven't decided how far I'm going to go with that. I'm still kind of working that. And I'm still deciding about pockets and a hood. So once it's all done, I will do some modeling either here or snap some pictures that I can share with you of the full shawl poncho thing. What else can I tell you about? Did not work on the compilation today, but I didn't expect to because of work and everything else. Oh, on the angel delivery. The angel delivery from yesterday was a yoga bolster. Thank you. And today they shared, the gift giver shared a video with me for how to use the bolster. So let me connect that up here. This is the video that was shared with me. It's got 5 or 6 poses for how to use the bolster. But if you're interested, I don't I mean, a bolster would help, but you probably could also do it with like a folded up towel or two, that kind of thing. But if you have a bolster, by all means, join me on my restorative poses. I figured it cannot hurt to try and help my body regenerate and so forth and so on. Let's see, what else do I have? Still on my to-do list, the red hat, returning the light, doing investigation to figure out what light to purchase and or camera/phone stand to film, that kind of stuff. And then of course work. So right now I'm scheduled to work for the rest of the week. As far as I know, there's no reason that I can't work. And that's my plan. And I think that is all the status I have for you today. Yep. Thank you for joining me on this journey. We love you. Remember, every day is a gift. Live it.